Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Q4 and FY21 conference call of the India Cements Limited, hosted by PhillipCapital India Private Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then zero on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Vaibhav Agarwal from PhillipCapital India Private Limited. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Stanford. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of PhillipCapital India Private Limited, we welcome you to the Q4 FY21 and FY21 call of the India Cements. On the call, we have with us the entire senior management team of the India Cements. I would like to mention on behalf of the India Cements Limited and its management that certain statements that may be made or discussed on the conference call may be forward-looking statements related to future developments and the current performance. These statements are subject to a number of risks, uncertainties, and other important factors which may cause the actual developments and results to differ materially from the statements made. India Cements Limited and the management of the company assumes no obligation to alter or update these forward-looking statements, whether as a result of new information or future events or otherwise. I will now hand over the floor to Mr. N. Srinivasan, Vice Chairman and Managing Director of the company, for his opening remarks, which will be followed by interview Q&A. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon to everybody. I have a few brief comments to make before we start the question and answer session. First is the year under review marked an important change in India Cement in the sense that during a pandemic year, when we operated at very low capacity utilization for the whole year, 57%, we still made a profit much higher than the previous year. We also, very importantly, we repaid 550 crores of debt during the year, which is substantial, and this was made possible because we went to cash and carry, we collected old outstandings, and we also generated sufficient surpluses. The NPR was at least 400 to 500 rupees higher than the previous year, which is the reason why we were able to come out with a good result in spite of the fact that our volumes are much lower. In fact, our volume was only 8.9 million tons, which is about 57% of our capacity. If you talk of capacity utilization through the year, the first quarter was 33%, the second was 53%, the fourth was 62%, and the fifth was 77%. In fact, in the month of March, we hit 81% capacity utilization. But this capacity utilization and the very buoyant position in which the industry was affected by the COVID-2, the second wave of COVID, which has caused many states to lock down and restrict the ability of people to transact business. Commercial activities were reduced substantially. What is heartening is that those states.
Ram Prakash, can I take your company name, please?
Combating this COVID-2 are now reducing the lockdowns and bringing back normalcy, which is like the states of Gujarat, state of Maharashtra, etc. So this augurs well, as we expect that in other states also where the lockdown is, that there will be a finite period by which the lockdown reversal will take place. As far as India Cement is concerned, during the year under review, we not only collected receivables to the extent of about 175 crores, we also managed our inventory well. About 240 crores of inventory was utilized, and this enabled us to repay 550 crores. The total debt of the company from 2,500 crores came to 2,900, from 3,500 to 2,900. We have a similar repayment obligation this year, about 600 crores, which we are confident that we will manage. As far as the present situation is concerned, we expect that the lockdowns will come down by middle of June, and while continuous process industries are exempt, there is some restriction on shops being open, etc. So we expect this situation to ease out during the month of June. Therefore, taking the year as a whole, we do not expect too much of disturbance. This is the assessment of India Cement. These are the comments I wanted to make to start with. We're very happy to respond to any questions or clarifications that any of you may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may please press star, then 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star, then 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Anyone who wishes to ask questions, please press star, then 1. The first question is from the line of Naveen Sahadev from Edelweiss. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir, and congratulations on posting good numbers in a challenging environment, and more so, I think, reducing the debt, which is what investors very clearly cherish. My first question was that since you said 600 crore is our debt obligation this year as well, and the company intends to meet that as well. So when does the capex kick in the sense the assets that we have in the central India region? So at what debt level, or is there any benchmark or a milestone if once that met, the capex or again capacity creation can start?
You see, how we look at it is, we want to go back to normalcy post this COVID-2, the second wave of COVID, which I expect will be in a month's time. Hopefully, things should settle down. Then, based upon the generation of funds, see, just for your information, in the first quarter we have to repay 170 crores. We'll do that. So our concentration will be to bring down debt levels, and when comfortable, start this. You see, the limestone is in the ground; it's not going anywhere. So a few months delay, 6 months, 3 months delay doesn't matter. I think what is more important is that in these challenging times, we should be extremely liquid and we should be comfortable. One of the factors which enabled our liquidity is that we have gone fully on cash and carry. you want cement, you pay for it. So as a result of which, our utilization of cash credit also has come down. So in a sense, we are confident of demand picking up once the lockdowns are lifted. We also expect pent-up demand to come, and we expect that, like in the last year, the capacity utilization will continuously increase. So therefore, the answer to your question is that by the time we have this conference after the first quarter results, we'll be in a better position to give you an answer.
Understood. Thank you. My second question then was, this quarter, if I simply compare the standalone and the consolidated results, there seems like on the consolidated, as in for entities other than the subsidiary, there is an EBITDA loss of roughly around 35 crore. I'm simply doing the difference between the EBITDA for consol and standalone. So there's a loss of roughly 35 crore. If you could just explain, is there any one-off, or what is this on account of, because it's quite substantial for the quarter? Thanks.
What is
in the consolidation and standalone, there's a 35.
One second, just get Haras, what is it?
We provided for expected credit losses in the subsidiaries in their investments in such companies.
In investment bank.
In financial services and securities, for ICCL investment.
We have provided, okay, I'll ask our head of finance to say.
We have provided for expected credit losses through the P&L on investments held by the subsidiary companies and certain others.
Is that part of other expenses, I believe?
It will come through valuation of investments through P&L.
Fine, I think
Valuation of investments through P&L.
I'll take it offline. It's fine. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Nowadays, there is no offline. Everything is online.
I appreciate that. So if you could just, because the audio wasn't very clear.
We will answer this question last.
Other expenses, sir.
Okay. Fine. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Participants, to ask a question, please press star, then 1. Participants, to ask a question, please press star, then 1. The next question is from the line of Ashav Patel from Molecule Ventures. Please go ahead.
Congratulations on good set of numbers, sir. I wanted to know if we compare the Q4 FY21 profitability vis-a-vis other players in the same geography like Orient Cement. They had 24% operating margin. Ramco Cement just released the result like 10 minutes back. They had 27% operating margins. Whereas on console, we are only clocking 11% operating margin, despite the fact that we are the leader in the southern geography. So I would just like to understand that where are we lacking in terms of efficiency? Why we are not able to post the same profitability compared to the smaller peers?
See, two things. One is that, okay, I'll take a few minutes to reply this, because I think this is a question that may be on the mind of a lot of people. First and foremost, India Cement is 75 years old. I have got factories of different vintage. My oldest plant is 75 years old. I am taking limestone from a depth of 70 to 80 meters below ground in those places. And I've also had to maybe sometimes import limestone to top up the quality. I have got a mix of, that is, take my Malkapur plant, it was half completed by somebody else, and we took and completed it. But the substantial portion of the equipment had already been ordered. It has mostly ball mills. Similar is the case with the Banswara plant, which was a former Indo-Zinc. The Rasi plant which we bought full consists only of ball mills, which, see, these were up-to-date technology of those days. These are slightly older plants. Now today I can set up a plant with the same efficiency as anybody else today. But at the same time, you must look at the capital cost, you must look at the positioning, etc. So therefore, all I can say is I am running my plants to the systemic efficiency. Whatever that system will deliver in terms of efficiency, that I am extracting that. But if I have a ball mill, I cannot match a vertical roller mill. But it's a question of time. If today you want to replace it, the payback is not sufficient. So this is the reasons why that we have some of the older, but my capital cost in some of these will be lower. So I am not inefficient. I have a different set of equipment compared to the maybe Orient or somebody else who has set up a plant recently. But at the same time, I can tell you one thing, that in my markets, which I operate in, that is primarily in the south, I get a premium for my product. My quality is very good. So therefore, I have to take everything into account. I have to take not only variable cost, I have also got to take my fixed cost, I have to take my people cost, etc. All. In the end of the day, only variable cost alone is not the issue to see with. Ultimately, there is such a thing as quality. My quality is very good. That will account for something at some point in time in the not too distant future. So my answer to you is that I run my plants to my systemic efficiency. Some of my plants have got older generation equipment. It doesn't pay back enough sufficiently for me to replace it, which is possible to replace if I want to. But also you must take into account that whether you take my peers, they run at a much higher level of capacity utilization. I did only 57. Let me run at 95 and see the difference. Which will happen.
Yeah. That was the second question. What I was coming to, that given the same set of equipments, if we were to zoom out on a yearly basis, can we at all achieve like 20% margin range, which the peers are already achieving, or that is out of possibility?
No, I can run at more than 100% also capacity. The only point is I'm concentrating on price. You see, the question is, in the cement business, price is important. I'm not looking at my peers, I'm looking at myself. What was my result last year, what is my result this year? Next year, as it is, if you take the COVID out, my capacity utilization will be much, much higher, and my returns also and my financial reports will be much better, much, much better. I will not spend anything more to produce more.
Got it. Fair point. So, but going forward, if we operate like say at 85-90% margin on a yearly level, then we can achieve profitability. Can we increase our EBITDA margin going forward?
I tell you, going forward, what I say is in the future. Let my capacity utilization increase, and you will see the result automatically.
Sure, sir. That's all from my side. All the best.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, please press star, then 1. Anyone who wishes to ask questions, please press star, then 1. The next question is from the line of Ashish Jain from Macquarie. Please go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. Sir, my apologies. I joined a call a bit late. So can you please repeat the volume numbers for this quarter and also your debt level?
See, as far as the fourth quarter, my debt level, my debt has come down from 3,500 crores to 2,900 crores, something.
3,000.
Sorry, from 3,500 to 2,900. Yeah, sorry.
3533 to 3,000.
3533 to 2,000. 2999. Now, as far as the volume is concerned, what is it? 29.9 we did 29 lakh tons. 29.9 lakh tons in the fourth quarter, which comprised of about 6 lakh tons movement to the east. Clinker and cement put together.
Mr. Jain, do you have any further questions? We've lost the line for Mr. Jain. We take the next question. Participants, to ask a question, please press star, then 1. The next question is from the line of Saket Kapoor from Kapoor & Company. Please go ahead.
Namaskar, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, firstly, sir, if you could give an understanding, since you are the largest player in your region, what is our current market share, sir, in the geographies we operate?
1 second. What is the market? 11%. 11%.
And your nearest competitor?
Oh, Ultratech will be ahead of us in South. See, I put it this way. See, cement business is not about market share. It's at the price at which you sell. I can get the higher market share if I drop price, but that is not the point.
Right.
So, to some extent, market share is there, but it is not there.
Okay, sir. And sir, what is our trade and non-trade mix, sir, out of the total sales?
55% is trade and the balance is non-trade.
And what would be the way going forward, sir? Is it going to be more skewed towards the trade segment, or is it the institutional sale only that we are looking forward?
No, you have to listen for a few minutes to my answer, because you have to understand the situation. Now, except Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Haryana, Delhi and Uttar Pradesh, I sell in every other market. Now, each market has its own trade, non-trade proportion. I sell, as it happens now, as my capacity utilization goes up, I sell more in Maharashtra, which is a non-trade market. I sell more in the east, which is a non-trade area. But if you ask me what would you like, I would like to sell in trade. I want to increase this year, this financial year, it will be our endeavor to substantially increase the trade price, the trade sale. Also, we are also making efforts to increase the non-trade price so that the differential between trade and non-trade reduces.
Right, sir. Sir, when we look at the P&L for this quarter, in the expenses category, we find lot of items showing inflationary trends which are not proportionate to the increase. They are proportionate, but not into that extent. If you could throw some light on, sir, firstly on the employee cost part, sir, that has gone up, and also...
I agree. The employee cost is a one-time cost. It will not recur again. As far as we also had more, because the volumes were high, there was more contract wages paid out during this quarter.
Repair wages, mainly.
Mainly repair wages, which is unlikely to repeat in the following quarters.
So can you quantify what is the amount that will not happen on a recurring basis?
You see, the staff cost increase of about 11 crores rupees will not happen. So 12 crores will not happen. And as far as the repair wages, how much? How much is the repair wages? About 8 crores will taper down.
Okay. Right, sir. And sir, and how will you explain this power and fuel and transportation and handling charges going up significantly?
See, I will tell you, as far as freight and handling, during this quarter, you see, in earlier quarters, my sale in the east was much lower, as against a total annual 4.5 lakh tons in the east. 3 lakh tons, 3.5 lakh tons came in the last quarter itself. So this skewed the increased my lead, and at least 100 rupees per ton has gone up because of this in the east. Now will it happen? Will it continue? See, it depends on where the demand comes after post-COVID. We will not, see, we find that in the east, ours is a preferred brand. Ours is a preferred clinker. Everybody wants our clinker. So we will sell at a suitable price, which is remunerative for me. That once the COVID situation unfolds.
Power and fuel on per ton basis remains the same.
As far as power and fuel is concerned, on a per ton basis, it is the same.
Okay, sir. And what is the WHRS mix in the power and fuel basket?
WHRS mix is
See, the WHRS I have only today at Vishnupuram, the old Rasi plant. Other than that, the waste heat recovery is yet to be installed in Chilamkur.
And what is the capex we are doing in that plant, and when will that be commissioned, and what are the savings expected?
See, we expect about 100 crores capex in the WHRS, which will happen next year. The savings.
Less than 2 years.
Saving?
The payback
will be less than 2 years.
Thank you.
How many megawatts?
10.
We will generate 10 megawatts at Chilamkur.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ritesh Shah from Investec Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir, thanks for the opportunity. Sir, a couple of questions. Sir, would it be possible for you to quantify how much was the interregional trade from south to east, including cement and clinker for industry? You did indicate our number. So that was the first question. And sir, a related question, we do understand that there have been clinker imports into south and east, and specifically Orissa from Middle East. Is this something which is new, or is it a recurring phenomena, and how should one read into this? Thank you, sir.
First, if I give you the numbers for the industry, Competition Commission will catch me. Okay.
Okay.
Because, I may have the figures, I may not have accurate figures. That is the problem is. Because we also, in a sense that what others do, I have to take estimates. Now, but I think what we are doing, other players in Andhra will be doing, on the similar lines, because everybody has a certain share there. Coming to your second question, which is on import of clinker. See, the clinker import is by Penna Cement. They import some clinker into Orissa. Other than that, I think JSW imports some clinker, but the import of clinker to the south is not there. The import of clinker to the south is hardly of any significance. So, as far as we are concerned, why this import of clinker? Because there is shortage of clinker. See, basically, until this Corona 2 came about, there was a shortage. There was hardly any clinker. I mean, clinker was going at a premium in the east. The situation will return once the stabilization comes after Corona.
Sure, sir. Just a related question, sir. You don't think this is something which is a sustainable trade? It might be because of plant shutdowns or labor issues in east, and that is the reason there was movement of clinker from south to east. Is that the way to read it, sir?
No, it is because there is no clinker there. See,
Okay.
that is, if you remove the COVID, there is no clinker. Clinker has to go from Andhra and other places because there is no clinker available locally. We were even selling into northeast, into Assam and beyond.
Well, to add the grinding capacity in east and northeast is more than the clinker.
Yes, you see, there is a lot of grinding plants have come up in the east, which is not backed by clinker.
That's very encouraging, sir. It answers my questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. To ask a question, please press star, then 1. The next question is from the line of Mudit Agarwal from IIFL Capital. Please go ahead. Mudit Agarwal, your line is unmuted. Please go ahead with the question. Mudit Agarwal, please unmute your line from your side and go ahead.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Sorry for the interruption. Just want the sales figure and the EBITDA for shipping RMC and wind business for this quarter.
Shipping was 7 crores turnover and EBITDA was 2.4 crores.
Okay.
Shipping. Then RMC was at 28.2 crores income and EBITDA was 3.4 crores.
Okay, sir. Windmill? Windmill, sir.
Windmill was only 0.43. Actually, only 0.43 crores for the quarter. Revenue was 0.43 crores for the quarter.
Thank you, sir. That's it from my side.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jaspreet Singh Arora from Equentis. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. Thanks for the opportunity, sir. So my apologies in case you commented on this in the initial remarks. So just the utilization rate, so you mentioned 57%. What would be approximately in the months of April and May? Very ballpark, just trying to understand the trend.
I don't know whether I can give it, but see, I answered it in a different fashion.
Sure.
I earlier in my opening remark, I said that last year first quarter was 33%.
Okay.
I said that this year first quarter will be higher.
Okay, fair enough. Got it. And on the cement prices side, sir, just again from a trend perspective versus the current prices versus what it was in the month of March or the last quarter. How are they shaping up? Because I believe there were some price hikes, but then there were some rollbacks, etc., etc. If you could comment there.
There is no rollback.
Okay.
The price in April have gone up by 10 rupees. Price in April, in May by 10 rupees, and there is a 15 rupee increase in June 1st.
It will happen on the starting 1st June, you're saying?
I hope so.
Okay, that's what. Okay, fair enough. So far, you're saying 10 rupees till date and 15.
You see, you must understand. I am talking of like in costing standard cost.
Fair.
See, one should have got this increase. Some people take it, some people give it back. It depends on the company concerned. But as far as we are concerned, we have got 10 rupees in the month of May. I will get 15 rupees in the month of June.
Sure, sure. And that should cover up a material part of the cost inflation. Is that?
Not much. You see, as far as the cost increases are concerned, some portion of the cost increase has been covered by the increase in April also. The increases that are taking place now can be with regard to transportation, it can be with regard to fuel. Reduction of volume. And primarily, for a manufacturer, when I produce at a lower volume, my cost goes up. But that is something which I cannot predict now. My assessment, which I have said, is that during the month of June, I expect all the lockdowns to go, and going further, we will operate at a much higher level.
Understood, sir. Understood. That's all from my side. So thank you so much for answering that.
Thank you. To ask a question, please press star, then 1. The next question is from the line of Devesh Agarwal from IIFL Capital. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Firstly, what would be our clinker sales for the entire year, sir?
For the clinker sale for the entire year was 4.52 lakh tons.
4.5. All right. And although you said that you may not be able to share numbers, just wanted to know the volumes in May. Are they far more worse than April, or it has been around the April level?
The sale in May is lower than April. That much I can tell you.
Okay. And so for
you must understand that in April, you see, I am in the thick of the COVID area, which we expect the lockdowns to be lifted in the month of June.
Right. And for FY21, sir, we have seen a decline for ourselves for the whole year. Would you have certain trends or numbers for the industry, as in what was the industry growth for South or all India for FY21?
16%. One second. Degrowth. Degrowth around 15-16%. Once I asked my colleague to reply.
What we understand is that the industry had degrown by 15% in South.
Okay, it has gone. And at all India level, sir?
All India, I think 10-12% was the degrowth.
At the all India level, 10 to 12%.
Year as a whole, we are.
Okay. And one last question, sir. You were explaining this difference between ball mill and vertical roll mill. Assuming they operate at a similar utilization of say 70%, what would be the difference in the contribution, just based on the inefficiency part?
Can you give us a number?
1 second, I'll tell you what is the power consumption.
Power 10 to 15 units.
See, the difference in power consumption, the difference is in power consumption. A ball mill will consume 10 units of power more.
Okay, that's all. Perfect. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may enter star, then 1 to ask a question. Please note, this is the final reminder for questions, and no further reminders will be placed after this. The next question is from the line of Indrajit from CLSA. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity.
Hi.
So, one thing I want to understand, sir. So, in the month of April and May, whatever we have seen so far, and based on your judgment, once lockdown opens, in terms of priority, which segments do you think demand will recover faster in terms of rural, urban, independent home builders and infrastructure? And which segment do you think will still lag a little longer than the rest?
You see, prices have not lagged at all. The prices have remained consistent in April and May. As far as it's a question of today. I'll take a little time to explain. Today, But for the lockdown, demand would have grown as it did in the month of March. The lockdown has reduced the demand. So all demand will pick up once the lockdown goes.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rajesh Ravi from HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. Good afternoon. While some of the questions have been answered, would you please repeat the concrete revenue numbers for the quarter?
Sure, sir. Concrete. RMC.
RMC?
28.2 crores.
28.2 crores revenue
And
3.4 crores of EBITDA.
Okay, and last year, same period?
26.54 revenue.
No, voice is not audible, sir.
26.54 was the revenue.
3.08.
3.08 was the EBITDA.
Okay, and yeah. Sir, in terms of the, could you share what is the blended cement mix for us for FY21?
Blended cement, that is the PPC or how much? 1 second. I'll give
59% for the quarter.
For the quarter is 59% of PPC.
And for the year as a whole?
For the year?
Around 59%.
Around 59%.
Okay, and lastly, can you discuss on the fuel mix and where does, how is the difference between petcoke and imported coal for you?
What is the price of imported coal and petcoke is what is
on a per kilocal, what is the difference we are witnessing currently?
Petcoke is slightly more.
Actually, the answer from our operations department is that at the moment they are almost the same. In fact, petcoke is slightly higher.
Right. And how much? What is the number, sir, in terms of per kilocal or?
No, in absolute number, what?
Sir, it will be between 1.4 and 1.5, sir, actually.
Between 1.4 and 1.5. Landed.
Blended, okay. Okay. And what is the, sir, how much is this different for versus your Q4? 1.4, 1.5 in this quarter versus Q4. Just wanting to understand the impact, on numbers because of the fuel cost.
More or less the same, because for Q4 was also around 1.42 blended. It will be around 1.42 to 1.45 currently.
We have sufficient quantities locked for the next quarter.
Okay, so we will not be seeing material impact of fuel inflation Q on Q. Most of the impact is already visible in the fourth quarter number. Is that understanding right?
Yes, mostly, yes.
Yes, your understanding is right.
Okay, great, sir. I'll come back in queue. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Pooja Shah from Isha Securities. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
I wanted to know about the raw material price trend in the for the year and in this current quarter.
What? Raw material?
I lost your first part of the question.
I wanted to know about the raw material prices. How are they trending?
Raw material is limestone. Madam, the raw material is our limestone. We don't buy.
And petcoke?
Fuel prices. Petcoke, what are the prices?
Around 130 to 135 petcoke.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. We have one last question from the line of Saket Kapoor from Kapoor Company. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So thank you again for the opportunity. Sir, on the finance cost front, what should be the absolute numbers depending upon the debt going lower next year also? And what is our blended cost of fund right now, sir, currently?
See, our cost of funds, average cost was about 9 point something. It is 8.8. It is now 8.86. We have expectations of improved rating, which can drift the interest rate down further.
And what should be the absolute number, sir, in terms of finance cost? This year we have seen a significant reduction from 343 to 271. So for next year, what should be penciling in depending upon the reduction, further reduction in debt, that is repairment of 600 crore that is going to happen for the next year?
No number.
We don't have a number.
We don't readily have the number.
Huh?
We don't readily have the number.
I don't have the number readily.
Okay, sir. And as you told about the rating part, when is our rating due, sir, in the current quarter itself, post the Q4 numbers?
Yes, during this current quarter.
Right, sir. Sir, on the if we take the geographical part, cement in the southern geography, sir, can you explain, sir, whether cement is, the clinker is available in plenty? That is, there is more clinker available in south there, and the demand scenario in the east and the northern and middle central India is much higher than what South India is. That is the reason why the clinker has been transferred. And
I'll give you the correct understanding is there in the east. They have put up grinding plants without clinker. There are some plants in the south, for example, our Rasi plant and 2-3 other plants which have got clinker which can move east. These are also it can move east if you have a railway siding there. Those plants which have got clinker without a railway siding, that's of no use. So there about 3-4 plants can move. The issue is whether they grind and sell the cement locally or sell the cement as clinker to the east. That will depend upon the realization you get for either.
Sir, I only wanted to understand the demand-supply scenario in the southern geography. That is what my question was. Why there is a
in the southern geography, if you talk of south of Andhra Pradesh, there is no clinker available.
Okay. And sir, as your utilization levels were in the vicinity of 57-58%, other cement players in the southern, which operates in the southern region, what is ballpark average utilization levels? I wanted to understand for the southern part itself.
It is possible that it may be higher.
Around 65 will be the industry average.
65% may be an average.
Okay. So, sir, is it only the cash and carry part that has contributed to this turnaround, if I may use the word, for the change in the P&L part which we are witnessing for March ending 31st March 2021? Is that the major reason, or what has actually done the how should we sum up this year the factors that has contributed to these changes in the numbers? And you are speaking about the sustainability and bettering of the much better of the same going forward with the utilization levels going northward. But just to sum up, what factors did actually attributed to all these good numbers? And
the good numbers is, I tell you, one is cash and carry. It is a sea change from giving credit for sell cement, which is a big change. Second is that people realize that our quality of our clinker and cement is very good. You see, ultimately, that there is something for quality. So our ability and good quality was one of the other factors. The third factor is that we concentrated on price. We did not sell on the basis I'll give you cement at a lower price. I'll give you cement, good quality cement at my price. I think this is a change which worked.
Right. Right. And one closing point from my side. So my very humble suggestion from my side is that the investor presentation should also be accompanied with the results, so that before the conference commences, investors and the participants have a fair sense of ideas about the volume number and the frequently asked questions.
Your point is taken. Your point is well taken.
So I hope, sir, that going forward we come up with a presentation that will cover the bit. And sir, for the renewable energy part, sir, what is our?
We will do that. We will do that in the future.
Thank you.
What is the other question?
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question. We'll have Mr. Kapoor back online, sir.
Yeah, sir. I was talking about the renewable energy part, sir. What is out of the total mix? How much is contributed from the renewable energy? And going forward, sir, what kind of increased percentage can we look forward from the renewable energy segment, sir?
See, I tell you, as far as we are concerned, we generate about 170 megawatts of power for our own use. We are maybe 30. How much are we short?
Around 15-20.
We are about 20 to 30 megawatts short of our full requirement. This renewable energy you're talking about, what is the...
Only wind power.
We have only wind power as a renewable energy.
Right, sir. So going forward, what should be the likely mix, sir? And we are targeting, I missed your number, you just spoke.
Not, you see, I'll put it to you slightly differently.
Yes, sir.
At the moment, we are very close to generating all the power for ourselves. A little bit more, we will be self-sufficient. Then question of renewable energy investment in that will depend. It has depending on all other investments we have, we will take a call.
Okay, so I was looking, sir, currently what is the percentage out of the total energy mix? 20% you said?
3%.
3%.
Yes. Only wind power.
Right, sir. And lastly, sir, how much is the imported coal part of our requirement and how much is sourced domestically?
We do not source any coal domestically.
Okay, and what have been the price trends for the coal prices, sir? I think so they are on the lower side only for this quarter, and going forward, at what prices have they been contracted?
135. Sir, see, the prices are ranging between $120 to $130 per ton currently, and the contracts are between $110 to $120 already done.
Right, for the next 2 quarters.
Not the next 2 quarters, only it will be sufficient for a quarter, maximum.
Right, sir. Thank you, Mr. Srinivasan and the team for answering all the questions for a candid conversation. Hope our suggestions will be looked into, and thank you, Philip Capital, for organizing it, sir. And all the best, sir. Stay safe, sir. That is
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Vaibhav Agarwal from Philip Capital India Private Limited for closing comments.
Yeah, thank you. On behalf of Philip Capital, I would like to thank the manager of the India Cements for the call, and also many thanks to the partner joining the call. Thank you very much, sir. Stanford University, I conclude the call. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Philip Capital India Private Limited, that concludes this conference. We thank you all for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.